All right, that is Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where next week we'll get a good test for what we can expect next year during the FIFA World Cup. Natalie Dale with GDOT joins us, and next week the FIFA World Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup, will be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We'll have two games there starting at 3 p.m. And, Natalie, first of all, good to see you. How you doing?
It's so good to see you. Happy Friday.
Yes, it is a Friday. And how much will those games, those two games that we'll have starting at 3 o'clock, affect the downtown connector where it's already kind of crowded during a normal rush hour? What impact will it have?
Well, we're getting better at these, aren't we? You know, we had Taylor Swift and Beyonce, performing at the same time a year or so ago. And so we are used to having these big events downtown in the downtown area. That doesn't mean that everyone is tuned into what's going on. So here's our chance to get tuned in. We're going to have a lot of congestion surrounding this. And you're right, it is a great warm up for the World Cup games to come in the future. So just stay traffic aware. You know, we talked to you a lot about staying weather aware, stay traffic aware, but also stay weather aware, but stay traffic aware as these big events are happening downtown. Of course, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the downtown connector, a lot of pressure on transit systems, but we are working to get all of these things sort of moving, if you will, as we prepare for events like this and then eventual bigger events with the World Cup coming.
Yeah. Do you guys, how often do you work with Marty? Are you guys closely working together at all?
That's the cool thing about transportation in Metro Atlanta is that we work together, whether it is on big projects like express lanes, the express lane systems that we're working on up 400 that will come to 285. We work hand in hand with MARTA to make sure that there is a transit aspect to those. Yeah. And that extends not just to the big projects, but to day-to-day work to make sure that we are touching base. We have the ATL, which is basically transportation in Metro Atlanta. That includes the Department of Transportation. That includes City of Atlanta Department of Transportation. That includes MARTA, a bus service, so things like that. So we are always, the great minds in transportation are always working together. I know sometimes people think that we are in a silo and we don't know what's going on. That could not be further from the truth. We work together during major events and every day to make sure that we are doing what we can with the tools we have to move transportation in the right direction.
Is that going to be the key? Like, what is the key thing you want the folks to know when it comes to these big events? Is it like you want them to park and maybe take MARTA in, or what's the thing you want them to know the most?
Well, we want you to plan ahead, and we talk about that a lot. And part of that is if you are not a participant, if you do not need to be downtown, if you do not need to be in Midtown, know now that that's probably not going to be where you need to go. So if people who are not actively participating in the event or don't have to be in the area for work can stay away, that's going to limit some of that congestion. And then have a plan, but also have a plan B and a plan C. If your plan is to take Uber down, that's great. But if you're stuck in traffic because that's a car, what is your plan B? What is your MARTA plan? What is your carpool plan? Who can go with you? Can you organize a group to carpool so we're taking cars off the road? The most important thing is to be very deliberate in your plan. If you don't need to be there, don't be there, but know it's going to put pressure on the system. And if you do want to participate in the events, whether it's a Club World Cup or whether it's a big concert series, have a plan A, a B, and C, not only going, but coming, because sometimes late at night when these events let out, we have everyone trying to exit at the same time. So people came in at different times, but now everyone's trying to leave. So just make sure that you are working through multiple layers of a plan, coming and going.
Gotcha. All right, heading into Father's Day weekend, is there any hot spots that we need to keep an eye on?
Well, of course, we've got all that paving that we've talked about many times going on around Metro Atlanta, so keep an eye out for paving. We don't want dad stuck in congestion while he's trying to enjoy whatever dads enjoy on Father's Day weekend, time with the family. So again, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's so important. Plan ahead, check 511, check with y'all, make sure that you know where those project limits are. We've got, of course, mostly in Metro right now, work on the east side interchange and the west side interchange at I-20 and 285, as well as robust paving schedules in advance of World Cup to come.
All right, sounds good. Natalie Dale, GDOT, really appreciate you joining us today. Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much.